Hustle Studios.
Welcome to Dark Stories to Make You Sleep. The day is done. The night has taken its place, and you've taken yours. In the quiet, in the still, in the gentle dark that holds everything together. Tonight's story is called The Mine. Let your body soften. Let the tension in your jaw release. Let your shoulders drop. You've been carrying the day for too long. Put it down now. The dark will keep it safe until morning. Andrew was a historian. He studied places that people had abandoned. Ghost towns, closed factories, empty schools. He was drawn to the silence they left behind, the way a building remembers the people who lived in it, the way a town remembers the lives that made it. The Blackwood mine closed in 1967. A collapse killed 14 miners and sealed the lower levels. The company went bankrupt. The town of Blackwood emptied within a year. The mine entrance was fenced off. The lift mechanism rusted in place. Nature reclaimed the access road. Trees grew through the conveyor belt. The mine became a footnote in a county history book. Andrew found it in the archives, a passing reference in a 1968 newspaper. Locals report, the lift at Blackwood still runs at night. He smiled. Urban legend. He filed it away. 6 months later, he was driving through the area on his way to another site. He saw the fence. He saw the sign, Blackwood Mine. No trespassing. He pulled over. He was a historian. He could justify a look. The fence was rusted leaning, easy to step around. The access road was overgrown but walkable. The mine entrance was a concrete portal set into a hillside. The lift mechanism was ancient, a steel cage on a cable, the kind that looked like it belonged in a horror film. The cable was frayed. The control panel was corroded, but the power light was on. Andrew stared at the light. It was small, red, steady. The mine had been closed for 57 years. There was no power running to this side. He'd checked the utility maps. The lines had been cut in 1970, but the light was on. He stepped into the lift. The cage swayed under his weight. The cable groaned. He looked at the control panel. The buttons were labeled 1 through 5. The mine had 5 levels, according to the survey maps. Level 1 was the entrance. Level 5 was the deepest, where the collapse had happened. He pressed 1. The lift shuddered and descended. The shaft was dark, the walls slick with moisture. The air was cold and tasted like iron. The lift stopped at level 1. The doors opened. Andrew stepped out. A tunnel stretched into the darkness. He shone his flashlight. The walls were rough-cut timber and stone, old, very old. He took a few photos and returned to the lift. He pressed 3. The lift descended further. Level 3 was deeper, the air colder, the silence thicker. He stepped out. The tunnel here was different. The walls were smoother, the ceiling higher, not the rough work of 19th century miners. This was something else. He walked for 100 yards. The tunnel branched. He took the left branch. It opened into a chamber. In the center of the chamber was a stone table. On the table was a book. He opened it. The pages were blank, all of them. He closed it and returned to the lift. He pressed 5. The lift descended. It passed level 4. It passed level 5. The buttons on the panel went dark. Then new ones lit up. 6, 7, 8. The mine surveys only went to 5. Andrew's breath quickened. The lift kept descending. 9, 10, 11. The air was warm now, not cold, warm. The walls of the shaft glowed faintly, a greenish luminescence that didn't come from any light source he could identify. The lift stopped at level 12. The doors opened. The tunnel was lit, not with electric light. The walls themselves glowed, a soft, pulsing green, like bioluminescence. The tunnel stretched ahead, perfectly carved, smooth as glass. The floor was polished stone. The ceiling was high, arched, cathedral-like. This was not a coal mine. This was not anything the human hands had built. Andrew stepped out. The lift doors closed behind him. He heard the mechanism engage. The lift was going back up. He was alone. He walked. The tunnel stretched for what felt like miles. The green light pulsed in a rhythm he couldn't identify. The air was warm and dry and smelled like ozone. The tunnel opened into a vast cavern. The ceiling was lost in darkness. The floor dropped away into a valley, and in that valley there was a city, not built, grown, structures of crystal and bone, connected by bridges of woven stone, towers that spiraled like shells, domes that shimmered like soap bubbles, streets that wound like veins. It was beautiful. It was impossible. It was older than anything Andrew had ever studied. There were things moving in the city, tall, thin things. They moved slowly, deliberately, like people who had nowhere to go and all the time in the world to get there. They didn't look up. They didn't notice him. He watched from the edge of the cavern. He counted dozens of them, then hundreds. The city was alive. The city was inhabited. One of them stopped. It turned. It had no face. Where its face should have been, there was a smooth surface, like polished bone. It tilted its head as if listening. Then it made a sound, a low, mechanical sound, like a lift mechanism starting. Andrew backed away. The thing took a step toward him, then another. The others were turning now, one by one. The faceless things were looking in his direction. Andrew ran. He ran back through the tunnel. The green light pulsed faster, as if excited. The walls hummed. The floor vibrated. He reached the lift shaft. The doors were closed. He pressed the call button. Nothing happened. He pressed it again. The sound of the mechanism echoed from far above. The lift was coming. The things were coming too. He could hear them behind him, the soft, deliberate footsteps, the hum of their bodies, the click of their joints. The lift arrived.
The doors opened. Andrew threw himself inside. He pressed one. The lift rose. The doors closed. Through the gap, he saw the first thing reach the shaft. It stood at the edge, watching. It had no face, but he knew it was watching. The doors closed. The lift descended. It passed level 12. 11. 10. 9. The buttons reappeared on the panel. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. The lift stopped at the entrance. Andrew stumbled out. He ran through the portal, down the access road, past the fence. He drove away. He didn't stop for an hour. He went back the next day. The fence was intact. The mine entrance was sealed. Not by a gate, by concrete. A solid wall of concrete poured overnight, filling the portal completely. The power light was off. The lift was silent. Andrew filed his report. He didn't mention level 12. He didn't mention the city. He wrote, Blackwood Mine. Collapsed. Sealed. No access. Recommend. No further investigation. Some nights, he dreams of the green light. He dreams of the faceless things. He dreams of the lift descending, deeper and deeper, past the levels on the map, past the levels that should exist, into the dark that has always been there, waiting. And he wonders, in the quiet moments before sleep, whether the lift still runs, whether the things in the city are still moving, whether they're still waiting for someone to visit, whether they're still waiting for him. The mine is deep tonight. The lift is still. The darkness below is patient, as it has always been patient.
You don't have to descend. You don't have to go any deeper than you already are. Just rest here at the surface, where the air is familiar and the dark is kind. The things below can wait. They've been waiting a long time. They can wait one more night. Sleep well.